Palworld. It is such an unexpectedly gargantuanly big deal right now that I can both confidently make up a word like gargantuanly and very safely assume that you've probably heard of it by now, so I don't have to do much explaining, do I? Even though it is an unfinished early access indie game developed and self-published by a small company in Shinagawa, Tokyo, that would be Japan for you Americans who don't really know your geography that well. Ooh, Blunty, it's a bit early in the video to throw 75% of your audience under the bus like that. Sorry, Americans. I'm sure most of you know where Shinagawa is. Have you been there, though? I have. It's cool. Just before we get back on topic here, there is a pinned comment down below. I am very desperately in need of a little money help right now. If you can help, please help. I would really, really appreciate it, because I'm starting to really panic about my immediate future if I can't get that crap handled. So thank you for that. But back on topic and away from insulting my audience, this little indie game has shattered records in the scant 3 days it has been available already. Already stunningly smashing past well over 1.2 million concurrent peak players. And, by the way, that is just on the Steam version, where we can look at those numbers. We have no way of knowing what kinds of additional numbers it is doing over on Game Pass. According to the devs themselves on Twitter, they've got more than 3 million players. But more than 1.2 million concurrent peak players on Steam is itself astonishing. Let's put that into perspective, shall we? That smashes the numbers Baldur's Gate 3 managed to do, which was hailed by all as an absolute smash hit, but its all-time high has only ever hit 875,000. Elden Ring, another supposedly surprise smash hit that escaped the tight orbit of the extremely loyal but comparatively small user bases of Souls-like games. Even it couldn't crack 1 million concurrent either, falling short by about 50,000 players on its very best day ever. Cyberpunk, a very big deal game with a ton of hype, even more marketing, and huge expectations, which, yes, we all know what happened to those expectations after launch, but still, we're talking about launch here. It's only ever reached 830,000 peak players on Steam. And that's to this day, even after it's had its whole redemption arc, and it's really, really good now. Not even the world's most popular free-to-play games can reach what Palworld is doing right now. Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, PUBG all fall far short of the concurrent player base Palworld is currently absorbing. In fact, Palworld now holds the record of the highest concurrent player count of any paid game in Steam's entire history. Which, considering just a few days before launch, the developer of Palworld was under fire, under so much suspicion, scrutiny, and cynicism, they had to officially respond in their pre-launch FAQ to claims and rapidly spreading rumors that the game was some sort of huge scam, in the manner of the recent catastrophic The Day Before or something. I don't even know if I've ever seen a developer felt compelled to put something like this in their FAQ. That's how cynical people were being about this game just before launch, like immediately before launch. And you know what's even better about Palworld's success, as far as the gamers are concerned, and the whole gaming industry itself goes? It is yet another game developers, publishers, listen, look, pay attention. It is yet another game, just like Baldur's Gate 3, that is achieving this monumental, unprecedented success, close to universal praise and very, very rapidly growing levels of player community passion and loyalty, while having an utter and complete lack of microtransactions of any kind, or a live service style structure, or subscriptions, or gacha, or any kind of manipulative garbage tricky crap to artificially compel players to stay engaged and keep coming back. No daily login bonuses or anything of the kind. No battle pass style system. No seasonal content or roadmap. This game is pure. This game is honest. It is an early access game. There will be more content coming, but they're not making promises they're not sure they can keep. They're not putting out a roadmap saying, hey, sometime in summer of 2024 we'll do this thing. They're just getting it done. The game was made to be fun on its own merits, standing on its own 2 feet, without needing filthy trickery and psychological manipulations to keep people engaged. People want to play this game because it's fun to play the game. And literally millions of us are demonstrating that very loudly right now. And as far as early access survival sandbox games go, and I've played quite a few of those over the years, even streamed my first experiences of many of them over on Twitch, but this is easily one of the most highly polished ones I've ever experienced. Oh, sure, there's a little classic early access jank, what do you expect? A few systems that clearly need refining and tuning and fixing and whatnot. Some of the NPC AI could use a little work. There's a few game models that obviously are not final, some dodgy textures, some canned sound library noises that are clearly, or at least very hopefully, just stand-in effects waiting for the real ones to be made. And of course, a few bugs and whatnot. But compared to almost everything else I've ever played that called itself a survival sandbox game and released into early access, this is stunningly well made, surprisingly highly polished. The systems in play work really well. They're fun to engage with. They're interesting. They're creative. They're fun. They're fun. Now, the first time most gamers out there heard of this was back in June 2021 when the first teaser trailer came out. Pocket Pair, that's the name of the developer, should have said that earlier probably, but they released the reveal trailer. Something which left most people thinking, oh hey look, it's like Pokemon but with guns. Haha, look at that, it's Pokemon but with guns. Ultraviolet Pokemon, whoa. And that's the reputation it stuck with right up until just before launch, when a few content creators with preview access started showing it off a few days before launch and showed people it wasn't just Pokemon with guns. But a bunch of people were convinced, like I said earlier, that it was like a the day before style scam. A bunch more were fully expecting very janky, slapped together bullshit Unreal Engine game early access crap that we're so familiar with, that offered nothing more than the meme value of Pokemon but with machine guns and rocket launchers. And while that would be hilarious, and we'd all make our jokes and make the meme content and have a really fun time about it, and then forget about it in under 6 weeks' time. But then it launched, and the word spread like wildfire. It has been so popular with content creators and streamers that it instantly eclipsed the viewer numbers of League of Legends, Fortnite, Minecraft, Valorant, Counter-Strike, Lethal Company 2, Dota 2, and Apex Legends over on Twitch. Very few games do that. Even fewer indie games do that, and even fewer indie early access games get to do that. And now that it's had a record-breaking weekend that's shattered everything that came before it, you can bet your bottom dollar that a bunch more content creators will be leaping aboard this bandwagon hype train. Mine this thing for as much content as I can get away with. Speaking personally, I've had my eye on this since that original reveal, been on my Steam wishlist since that very first teaser trailer in 2021. And I played and indeed streamed on day 1, hour 1, minute 1. The instant it unlocked, I was already live chatting to my stream peeps as it downloaded, eager to get started. And I was personally fully expecting to get a few laughs from it, the novelty of it, the meme value of it, and then move on. The main reason I was streaming it is because I am a quarter-century-old Pokemon fan. I've streamed a whole bunch of Pokemon stuff over the years. I've been playing Pokemon personally since there was Pokemon to be playing. Of course, I was going to give Pokemon with Guns a go, just if only for the laughs. But man, when I found out, and I rapidly found out, it was actually a lot more like Valheim or Ark Survival Evolved in its actual minute-to-minute gameplay, just with sort of cute Pokemon-inspired stuff instead of, say, Ark's dinosaurs and whatnot. I was so happy. Like I said before, I've tried a bunch of these survival sandbox games in early access. They're fun to play, they're fun to stream and goof around in, but not many of them have charmed me, at least not as quickly as this did. In fact, if I had to describe how compelled I feel to keep playing, I think I have to reach all the way back to Minecraft before I find something similar that hooked me as quickly. Someone on day 2 of my 3 days streaming it over the weekend asked me if I thought it was Game of the Year stuff. I said, no way. Game of the Year goes to more fleshed out games, big, thick, full games with campaigns and stories and lore and deep character stuff and high action and early access survival sandbox game, unfinished, with cute but pretty derivative looking Pokemon Me Too critters with almost no real story, no real characters, no plot line. It would never stand a chance of being Game of the Year. But I'm not so entirely convinced of that now. It is amazingly compelling. And hey, what are games even for if not to be simple, compelling entertainment fun? That's what Palworld does, and it does it surprisingly well. So, thank you very much for watching. I doubt this will be the only video I ever make about Palworld. If you have been playing, please let me know in the down below. Thank you as always to the patrons scrolling up above there, and there is a pinned comment. If you can help, please help. I'm in very desperate waters right now when it comes to money. Thank you for watching. I'm Bloody. I'll catch you next time.